Lero nate tukukuonera omugusi abere ndarakuona for some time, so nakingo kuonera gusi lero nga inataka gukuonera omugusi of a few things, but of course timbuati nguru chioko korengererio on your behalf. I simply want to give my opinion over things chiagusi as far as the county chire concerned. I talk about what I imagine about the future of Omogusi, whatever the imaginations I would have or I have about the future of Omogusi, and I'll tell you the realities. Buna chire ginkonyora mokonyora, my opinion makes sense, sawa. Mokonyora, it doesn't make sense, still is okay. And I'll start with the history asini. When we were going to the run-up of the last election in 2022, etu wabati kambibere, wabati kambia Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga no Mheshimiwa William Ruto. That time, I was still in parliament. Most of the leaders were in parliament that time. Bakaamua kugenda su Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga babateba nero guchikoira kirukiwa president. I was among the few. If my memory serves me right, I think in Gusina igetenga kingatigara njibweka. For some time yakabanga ninjibweka na atigaire. Kero muntu konyo chire. Kero muntu. Batigara njibweka nkasuguma kabisa William Ruto. Kero muntu na arugweta gusiari abantu bandama banchoria. Bantu yamangana kweli mbatebi maitenje na arigereire. Esabu na akire esabu. Na naro renga omo sigisi nkoirare chikura. Mogusita chitia igwe. William Ruto akanyora 33%, was it 34%? Raila Odinga akanyora about 60%. Echinde chikaba shared na a few others. And in fact, we even had a challenge konyora chi candidate. Na rode abantu ngo muntu yonko irare. Kabenga kienkongo mwaka machogu. Kwenye naero tamire nkamuligia. Motebi achase kambi kera kwenye tuwabulu none governor candidate. Nkaligia kwenye Mheshimiwa Maangi Ochire. Nkamuligia nere. Nkamwebeli nkamusie kire nyomba asegete. Tukagamba nere for almost 6 hours nera aganchirana. Egera ati nobo senator at least to balance. Egere toroka nengantu gada chinamba. Some constituencies to kaburuba ke candidate yogotena because kero montare wata bangoma etenchera teyora arusi ora abwe Raila Odinga na chukura this time. So I told Omogusi that time taigweti, and today I want to tell you some things moji wanchira na baadaye na mwiso kubwatia historia negocha even after election sebinto na batebi binge mbono mukunya koranga ke Osoro na kuane tinkia gukirira bono Osoro na kuane tegente tinkia gukirira immediately after elections. Into serikali, but it has not been bakekera into tuikaranste serikali tirira isigo asituri kero twasoete 2022 burumbu arenge iguru inyura balitu arikurwara nabuwa bande ena bana bamintu muna bano Fred barenge serikali bantu kubwatu barenge bono burumbu arenge iguru bakase serikali aba bako gamba bwatu buruna into sana abande mbabwa tuburuna into abantu abange abaikoyo ikaba none kero kurigiri bagario konyora onde bwensi ase serikali oruwane Omogusi asoe ekobe gasi enkong because chikura tuanyora te chiarenge tuaena ne te chiarenge about 33%. 95% of professionals mbalinga na into. In fact, njosoro na arekwanda chiyo bisi abantu bantama chisi yo chiarenge gasi ni aga na arekwanda chiyo bisi chisi ye chiare wontama monta kondre gote ngoma tin kondro kana no Osoro na Ruto ngo butunde gasi. So it became very difficult. Well, ito ile serikali none CA chio si professional chieto goja gutangaza gose ku apply chigasi chionse chia wabwete ante bakuwa muntu ago chi apply tamaiti onde musenze emeye banta maite mbali bazimio oh no budget ku apply most of them tokanyore gasi en Congo okurigio muntu. I remember even some of the parastatos story chia serikali ya chitubugata bana ya most of them inche personally na akurigia bantu nga aya baba utawa apply asegete ndabuli ninyore it became very difficult omogusi koba part of government buya because no anyino busoku bwo gutoka serikali mbugarengo umuntu asogete ikiagera mahete ngakaki ngakingo chikoba but mzuri kwa semba ya Raila oli mwari support ya gacha serikali naturally nerna it was his sunset days nerni gata records community yaya liribona ako negotiate nera ka insist nera ko negotiate ya bantu bamu abo mono and at that time minche na arenge bado the senior most close to the president between 2020 gocha na erebono iga nothing has changed but because a community ito nja better bit of a challenge then even as we were negotiating so koba lilibono mga kacha Raila anda koba nere mu amineti mono ekabanga nero gutigirwa bange Nyanza nonye n'ibintu bya serikali Nyanza emineti bakomugusina arime so unfortunately it yako banga of course nere kimwanya bantu so bare korengeri that is how people think and that is normal so time has gone to beire serikali to support ko serikali ngo support to serikali and that is how life is but over the years it's a challenge gocha after challenge to ikire liribono stability ya likande korokana ngabono na boto konyora to negotiate mono na nebintu bya magendero seito there is nothing wrong on the ones ko ambitious omwana minto Fred agacha aka Kenya agateba ngo president of course mugusi mugaichora kweli mukaoroke kabisa nga mutagete such a discussion but no bono njenta turgeli the future yomugusi tobora ni the future yomugusi ko tuikranse orusi emotions kando orusi obolero kando orusi obwanchani kando orusi obukenyomba kando oyeboli about our community in the future because miaka na aberere serikali na arorira mangana mange sana amange ako ayanda kongechia anda kongechia about our community ayanda kongechia because ekero tutabuga stability erebuya ntubuga stability in terms of kolengera liamo arafu ntubuga numbers ondite toko ngentere limaita ondite toko ngentere ntuna abantu toko lazima tobereri nze mende yonse tole obe opposition obe serikali ntuna abantu bokwebereri no ngentere yo monto in fact when I was checking the statistics chikura tu agete collectively kisi na Nyamira cumulatively njigeti milioni tionzi pikisi na Nyamira yani tionzi pichirira ira nyorete ne chiruta nyorete cumulatively you do your statistics njigeti 1 million yani ntuna abantu nabo tuli bono igakurukisi na Nyamira abana bayito abande tima nkimutari kubwa 3 bande abane kana mubwate bande muri ku ikadi so we are at crossroads and I am fearing for the future of the community onya ntogoteba nikene. And I will speak about 3 things because that is, as I say, about my mind. You know, you have an opinion as an individual. I have an opinion as an individual. You cannot think on my behalf. I can't think on your behalf, but I'll speak my mind. If you choose to agree, fine. If you don't choose to agree, fine. That is the beauty of democracy. But I'll tell you the reality because in Janabeli, as a bintebia siasa. I'll start by telling you this, just like I told you last time, and I'll finish at that. I'll tell you the reality, just like I told you people nga in 2022 a direction ne na rolide ngabat na abate ndebinge sana gusiye na abate ringe sana. And today I want to respectively and with tremendous humility kibora maskani manene ko address mnanateba the future of Omogusi and the leadership of Dr. Fred Matiang. Because nobody wants to say, I'll say. Ekero daktari achete Kenya, hope njare ngo sana nga na bako ba, and I can tell even within our cycles in the Torres Rekari, elietari arengeri nina sana. Kera aliwacha last year. Tinta iko mention marieta lakini nkobora ni tu arenge nga kakie. Muntu tacheti. Taligocha taringaki. Muntu tali mutindi elietari gasara. In fact that time on the okora statistics na baka tenga rating ya enja arenge iguru sana. Kenya. But over the years, over the very few days, and that is the nature of politics, kerogo chakore iguru. Airigire mwana siasa ndi kwensi uranga naye ogo cha liberera lire iguru. Spirit ya ye kogenda nse bwango muna wacha siasa ngiene yo gocha kansa okogenda ngorona ke batara bagamuna babaraira bachagete nse bakobwatu bachandika by the time ba kopa bona bakaka kabisa bakongo miaka yarasukire lirio gocha kano eko bono murero gite you know kawaida tu igogwo kana lina nime na endo cho oera because okobo monene sana. So in the future of Omogusi kero Freddy achete, I'll tell you statistically we see ya renge 98% in his support. Lakini wake kerere 98% in his support. To iso kogenda with the statistics chiagusi chikura arenge konyora that time to iso kogenda mna chikura chiagetwe 700,000 total both Kisii na Nyamira. Kero waka 98% go roughly alwele konyora about 659,000. 600 and something thousand, less 2%. So if you less than 2% of 700, I think something like that, I reckon you're about 600,000. My tabulation is not right, but that is the statistics. But it was very high at that point. And I'll tell him, like I was telling my brothers, makorera magoso lidia chireika kiagarancha somande bitabu ya wanasiasa sana. There is no day Raila arekuru isiko nga the first stop arekogenda Kisumu gusogenda Bondo akoru asarure nga baba when you away ochaga Nairobi osalie parengima ogendo enda Kibera aiga Nairobi na yabanga nabagera barekumbuga ati perception ya gosoka isiko nechi TV neringa umuntu utatanjire Nairobi kuliko bone ekogenda kirasa na ino wana mwakora mwagoso mukarachaga kura mu advice. That is why I'm addressing him today. Mukamuira karuga genda bakagusi mukara mukore community leader. Kero monta kobe community leader traba national leader, it is very dangerous. Ayebugati bu ya chaka genda oyore bono kugamba ituko ndiyo kwa rekorra liya ko chaka chikambini chiae akumunyo kaliyo kanganje Rift Valley. No, he was doing a cross okuyunga na achira segete aka constitute man monomono kwanza boikoyo baka bantu bamuha umuntu na kibona arengerete. Even us, some of us in our small way, like now me, I did not even campaign in my clan. Kerana chagete ko boli chikura chagere kura agenda isiko bantu bakatendo cy'umuntu nasikire ona bantu bakachaga appreciate. So abuntu akorete magosa ke Omogusi, and I'm putting myself in, although I was not part of him. Komokora kwanza community leader, it was a trap which he fell into, because once you become a community leader bagocha okoboli chinamba chia onchirechi nkiobwata lilioga enda negotiate kwanya ranga tubwata numbers bagocha go question. And when some of us were raising such issues, you insulted us, because it will on the time obwata bobe mwana minto ko kamba anya nyasaya direction ngena ngeni ya orokiringa nayo go chiaria on the obwata. But let's talk reality tochake kwebole. That time it was 98%. Alafu kwa mwamubikira community leader bakabono iga kiagara the thing we do, we only host him every time on local stations. kirase bakare no arenge gesa everywhere you cannot search local station. Now that you've reduced him to a community leader because you've succeeded, and I agree, so I'll address him as a community leader so that we talk. I'm also part of the community as the community leader oito kira na community leader inje. By the way, I have no interest whatsoever for a community leader because a village elder who is elevated as a community tintaget. I only say kera kuwa very reduced one tirani coinance kuwa very community leader mwana to ku address mwana community leader. We discuss together here to board and maswali our leader where I am involved too ngaitoguchi as a community leader mwana mito Fred na manyete because he's listening and I know he knows. Between me and him, his chances Siyokabawane national leader are going on diminishing by the day. No, they say that. They say that. They may not speak it out like that is why even some of them people are looking for ways to hang. Why and that sisi ndio sifuna. You are now a community leader. And it's important for us to address you that way as our leader. You are our leader. Toborani, what is the future of Mogusi? Are you misleading the community or say not misleading or leading it the right direction? So we need to talk about these things. When you came, it was at 98%. Statistics, yeah, correct to Moisonde, you are still the community leader. You are now standing Gusi at 55% in terms of rating. The other areas, on Gusi, 55%, it's again rate kogenanse. Worse. In fact, I'll tell you, as a presidential candidate, ntu abwate by election mavuko to be get candidate. To gatware by election I think Isiolo to be get candidate. So that you become a national leader. We now have a by election yago. Ikegero mobungo kuwa olkalau no yo jubiri. Yago, it is for you to win or to lose. Ne yago. Kwa be candidate lakini kwa nyakorokana. Ti community leaders chini na banta abande, they are all over campaigning all kalau. Kwa nyakorokana. So where are we going as a community? Ekame kiore Jubilee. Now whatever you accepted kwa bomo deputy. You did not start your own house. Ochake nyumba yago tire ngorang, ogende gradually abantu bakuamini ocha. Okaenda kase nyumba omanyara amwe mambe atebetara yo deputy. So the community still believes in you at 55%. That is very dangerous. And unless we say it, things will not go right. Me, my opinion, now I don't know manyete between me and you. Opposition, one get erengareti koa, Kalonzo Musyoka kerugo. Eriko nyotu arwate abanga, United Opposition, eko a ticket. You will still remain, on your 55, you will come to 30%. Was a 15. Because Otoritori born a presidential candidate. Chances are very high. You and I know the truth. You've been in government, you know. I'm now in government, I know. There is only one sponsor, your opposition. One, Uhuru Kenyatta, who is your party leader. He is the only sponsor. That is why mkutano mwokora lidichibe siya sokire. Chitara soka, murigo soka. So it becomes very challenging. Ikegara munategemea jembe la kupewa ndio mtoke. So omonto yore the sponsor in his rating arengereti Kalonzo arani show. Why? Ba kobekire community leader ba akire chisabu cheito ba arode tu areng etore etu agete chikura 700,000 ba gundure etore bone gabo goikire 55% ba amugire ne ba kwargo ba 100% ba don 700,000 votes tu agete ndo tira ne million. Yani na tu abeire. That is how we are now. So this is very dangerous for the community. We are going to be in a worse situation if we allow this to continue than a 2022. How? A 2022 yokogamba bono iga okobata get second term na bakunya kotoebereri njun yarebe na ngo koegasi abande bago tengo maito tika etorali behind to Matiang ababunge sijui nini. No problem. achiko korera kia babunge mbaba 10 mbaba 15 mbaba 20 bunge ya nega esenko gambaga etore ababunge 349 gusi no teba na babunge ko mo abonsi pi 17 iga bunge gero nyore chikura o akirkendi gionsi ebiri yagete you only need 130 MPs 130 basigisi bare 50 something boka igo toragesa chikabire jine chiamugire abagere baachira serikali abantu ba coast baachira serikali abantu ba rift ba north eastern baachira serikali bono abantu no mubunge no Matiang abunge 17 ngayako baira ko negotiate nango na ene kero negotiate no muntu ko enda second term ayo mwerio nkia kukaniriti. It is going to be very difficult for the community, and I want you to keep this video for the future. It is going to be very difficult for the community unless we change tact. Maete wanasemanga sikio la kufa alisiki dawa. Our chances have diminished the more in the opposition, and you'll remember this video next year April. And I speak this with tremendous respect. President twamuire bono wanchire tatageti otebire tapuga chama ya abugata Jubilee Party. Jubilee Party nekia muikoyo. Aba ikoyo egenta bago promote DCP. Mbali na atara Jubilee. Igo ya atigaire aka section gaito kagusi. Asa yo moko gatari. No engusi ye muri ko gatari except yali asimu abegeta ka obisi yali gesonzo. Akamoiga kare para igoro asimu ndata pake no nchigari. But bono rusi ebyo. You will agree with me Kerota Erekobe president. Gutwarore a secretariat. Ere functional. Kero nabatenga time bado. Chinza chiyerire. Na no muntu kuburi we musiyo so ire ground ya colleagues kweli. No muntu kuburi bojube kane nsengima 290 constituencies. It is not an easy thing. To be very careful so that we don't mislead the community. It is going to be very dangerous of us. I pity my community. Na ane ndo taribana to bunyo kongene bana bunyo kongentringa nganto targeti. Tata intunege ichorelio. Unless we are in a winning side, ondeta yoko ngentreli. Ondeta yo kongente. Na abel serikali ga my friend nko abralie bintu kweli. It's not easy. Muiko kago cha igabake keraba ba kumana njere to kumana oegwa. Na abeli bintu na urwa. Why? Antaba, you know, even the president trikumanya okwana chiyo bisiga kwebereli, you know, by the time moko chiko the president nero understand it siasa bantu bande batroche bona aba, you know. Why? Because baka bali butete serikali, of course nto maskanita yonka mungure kwemincha ngoja kotongenterelia ono we remain there tulikati yani ole serikali yes but uko ikabona se point yote ati andu wanira abantu bane boka tinta itiko go chandeka ora chandekire community bosa itarenga retimanga nayo. But my point ne ya bana waminto, for you to be even a president otu are secretariat otu are kiama otu are functional team e korokanere face ya national ono bana waminto otare ko president Fred Ominto maigaga mongino renkari amine tingara bokoba lakini aino maite to kunyara badu mongino renkari akagite ngara bokoba na aino maite kene asore bono iga turi banga muinoga keroga kore press murevu muinoga nensari macha muinoga oseri ngoli. Yani we are becoming jokers. We are not leading the community in the right direction. Bono ku address as my leader because to anchira nire you are at 55%, so you are the leader. But I'll tell you the truth. Njoma ete no manyete mano meto friend, I say the truth. Abantu bagechiko, but that is the truth. Akarota ko president ligino ne chigari akarechi yake aikomi obegete sound. These embarrassments moko gaenda as function na akuru abantu moko address na ba boda abantu 20. Aka makondo mobegete na aliye kanisa aliya indo. And you want to be a president. It is not we cannot be embarrassing our community that way. One among in career wa campaign kweli. But you and I know it's not true. Nege ndeke moja watayoma ndichi best to tumia. Onye kwa president you have to use money. Mobilize. Yendo ge ko kunga bare tu abantu. abantu bare tunaba Kenya ngogo kani mba koreto bache kwake kura, they will still be brought bache kwake kura onya bachi besa. When you go to a meeting, mobilize ichori abantu ground ge ichore, you know, arafu beka makonda mana bono. You cannot be a presidential candidate egari wasabe aspirant ndo chaga akahone speaker garabu, but a community umongino renkaminto akagetenga nobe president, and you know very well tulebanga. So my point ni our future, and this I beg with tremendous respect, because right now you are at 55 gusi. The other part of the country I can tell you are low, extremely. Abantu ba tebenga ndocho muntu wetu akagete, muntu wetu akagete, muntu wetu akagete. You are not doing anything other than telling us everywhere karochinga ngega si I'll fix it nkyo fix. You know, you have to explain abantu pare ya igole tu ntetebe iga into get kyabe tenda tebe. You know, as it is right now na ino mukunde kusanira mukamumura yani na wanyenga chaguyo enjira yagunjukana every day abugata abantu muaje every day 30 days in a month. Kera lituko gendo lije na Facebook yae lera nabugata abantu eribu marago banabugate na le kera lituko nabugata abantu kera lituko igotare wonte gachagwa akorigia abantu abo bonse boiko ya chakoretera. You know, let's be fair. Ayeto kuligeli none metandao o ngarenge no mugaka machogu na maraka mungakwe bicha mugwoto muriro boss wacheni mchezo bwana. I feel bad because omongino renkari o amini linga gentonkereke koba na gentonkeyo. There is nothing, it's balloon. It is balloon complete. When last did you meet MCS? Bagusi, Baoma Bay, Ba Kisumu, Ba Isiolo? When last? When last did you ever make a call? Merana Bungoro Siabasani, Ba Mombasa. Okay, and Otuare Mukutano. Otuare. Gachagua every day holds such meetings. No, no position you are serious now. That is why they want you. They don't see was no the leader. Lakini gusi okoba yegesa. Abante bakagetinga somehow emira kone karo. Because yegesa, that is what they have decided to do every morning. They've even succeeded to make you a community leader. Every morning ninchu kuane raga kuane gorea matanga. A presidential candidate who's kuana matanga yaki. You're a presidential candidate, you are up there. You cannot be involved in a MC naru anete no governor naru anete no mubunge. That is not your work. Even messaging yoka kegusiri yoka. We are losing it. Now that abantu bahamini gusiyali kende, because any person who tells you the truth bagomorama and in Chumaete, I'll still tell you the truth. I'll tell you. The only way you can help us, Fred, you will still be president. You can actually be president, but not in 2027. As long as you're going to go stick na united opposition, 2027 you are not going to be president. Or even 2032. Or even 2037. Because we are also there. If you want to be president, which I believe you can, you know, you're a bit lazy. You need a team. And that team, you can be guided. You know, no more rasa siasa. O ase ga simbu yore. Kini siasa ano mogokore. You know? It siasa itageti bogoko. Either nchiyo go sno bogoko. You know, you just tell us. We just know so that we don't waste time for the community. And the opposition MPs will not tell you that, but we will tell you. I feel bad because I know what I go through in government to fight for Omogusi, and they still don't see. My fear is you lead us to the opposition mono. A second time you president ya kogenda. Eba Congo bono kwa bere no class monitor. Into komo ngenter that time. That is my only fear. Serikali yasoe etami ya kabere. Ituko ngenter. Inte imugura ta reject at that point. Yendo ke mora at that time ngo reject ya kogenda. Eke gunjo kebe na kiriki abiriki uru maliza uende. Maliza uende tuchandike miaka 5. Because the community has been misled yonsi achire. You can be president. The only way you can be president, Fred, is under one route. There is a big gap in Nyanza as a region for leadership. In Nyanza, etore intwe abagere n'abakuria aba bari barabange n'abagere abako bwati n'abagusi tumakwenda abakuria abagere aba 2.5 million ebare serikali egapi ya leadership ya tokeire bogere abakuria ebare serikali abagusiboka watu leadiri tobe in opposition. I want to advise my brother Fred, join government, take over that region. Nimbota maskani sana ko chia se Professor Kindiki, but ayabwe bange buya no ne position ina batoko chira to negotiate mune region ya Nyanza bogere bukuria ikera no na bagere akira bagate bate to deputy president mbangire koigwana ningo bara negotiate bono Fred Erache, it will be very easy we negotiate to korinwa nimbota maskani sana ko chia se prime cabinet secretary Mudavadi, lakini njena eno manyetenga aina bakora tachikura chinyingi kubwa Mudavadi. It is very easy for us to negotiate kurwari oso serikali Ruto na kona kasoka kwanyorire platform yo korosia bese kigera na gundwire either tobuga ati gosoro mugoko otoke within that structure. By 2032 we start making it very well. Let's be honest, tigebi intebi activism. I have seen it, my friend. Aba ikoye baganya kwa activist ga lakini bakorosi sobo mwatari re Kenya nku arenge serikali nanekere mu arenge serikali mugakori ukagambire bintaga tumbire sobo ogosoka kuruga Nairobi ore Thika road highway okogenda bakanyeri super highway kira asega Kiambuchi highway mbono mugako yako nyakwega sa rironi mausa meet 90% nyore kende kuchiari suneka etini boko uchimoino mbona kwega otherwise esegi mukurwana yaba ikuyo teko tokonya bara mbe agachete mbaro seti sobo. The chance yokobomo president gosomo deputy president is only with William. No abo running mate yo Kalonzo. You and I know Kalonzo nere ko inspire mwabwe kanire nere amete bukamba che kisande inga yare nge bukamba nare wasoka limo matanga ekanisa weka numbers tiaona tika ku imagine the social media. Stop imagining these things about social media. Social media in this country is only 2.7% yabangina about social media. No na abandi great. They are only 2.7% as a population there are 55 million. I'm telling you. Bangina badina bakaka bagwa kachirwa kurankali mbayo social media. Mbayo. We cannot I feel bad because I foresee my community kego suffer if we do not manage our politics very well. Bagere muisonde bagundwa na gekero bakone kuibanga tata nkwaro chino ene kere function ndiko koru a weekend bagere ababunga boka bachi etari mubunga koru 10 million chiaga achire chi project chi kanso yonde na ro 10 million bagachanga 35 million no yonde na endo cha so karora chi airport chi abo. Why they've managed kumanyanga siasa yeto kunya kujiyaka mono ya opposition nga activist tole nga sisi tunafaitia inchi. Unafaitia inchi gani? This is not new. Whatever is happening in this country is not new. Fred, you did it. Or even once when you were in government. So there is nothing new. There is nothing unique you guys will do. Mura imagine ko korango manyete bantu mbako bugatu ngoko kani. I mean every government has that. Let's be honest. But activism does not pay. Activism doesn't. Interview the soka to soke tuoge to batebi to bazokie to those things I have realized they do not work. So chance one Yokobo president is to join Ruto. Now that is on your personal growth. I want to beg of you for the growth of the community. Awaminto ntu ayeti moisonde ngendo ku National Infrastructure Fund kagaita gabunge. We are targeting to raise 7 trillion to do construction yechi para Kenya ngima. Ayondige reti eboli se ino uchi para nchiro kara eminche kurigoro bakansa lakini eboli maranchire seino chide chingia chigweteka. Now Fred Matiang batebiri tigana na Ruto, for you to be part of this 7 trillion you have to be on the table. Technocrats dibago ikaransa ras motoko ngogo toko, you are elected representative, because there is no technocrat kuchikobali raika amanyenge para ne kare mukomoni wase kiabigori wase kebirgo wase minyinkwa tako bairaika. That is why article 96 whatever into gas yet no represent tako bairaika. So right now we are into the budget infrastructure yabege tuchibasi nyinge sana abana mami ntochibase chimbono gachi kobagwa in terms of ekiagere toko beka bune pool abege to a pool about development ntaracha na hiyo ya 7 trillion. Fred, I beg of you, release your MPs and tell them to go and negotiate with the technocrats, the minister for roads. Egere na bro beke para chiechirami so bachi yagachwe tikagusanira mukamo murutora ebinte binko bekubire by the time moko igora maiso na manyoro na opposition mure no yimu abasoira opposition there akogenda bone tamia kabere abantu bachandeke bubi abantu bagocha kuchandeka bubi, and there is nothing you will do. No emincha, there is nothing you will do. No gejigu no murama, it is nothing. Again take tata bante ba ibangete mono kare ono no kibaki orenge akanyora jari akababa katare ko robiya rengo mugaka akaba ngeragiri yari ko taramne krema o angete kuruo kirego 207 baka akuimuki gwebuku botuko kano masayo yo mokeiga oye bangire kabisa kera nkumurigire yayi bangita arigire TV ntobaka kuchimutu ari arigire kabisa muntu kugambira abana jeshi bono iga omoikoyo okogenda nka gose next year lichi kuria abana jeshi uriyo kumubwati nere kuira uriyo kumubwati no musigisi mwabo tebania tebya bagusiye kena, you know the reality about this country. Muntu kugambira abasikari boneka no mugusi ame no mo ikoyo oyo kumubwati kuruma yego takiri kumuikoira oyo nyamato siasa no kubango boche ubange toboche kirase ubange toboche yente kimwa rengo maetenche mokongo sa tokogenda ense ko sarika ense na how far ense ra sarika kubona ya sarika 24th June na ende Ruto na currency tetekiru so kaiziko ense sarika bune igwateba anda ubako kote yoso kaiziko mba soka ba gotikara abande bakwe, you know, that is how life is. You can go choose to be activist, you become part of the statistics. You are just part of the statistics. Tunataka akietu miaka bere metinyebera bantu bebire. Atali yeso kukwira bantu bibi yabo. Genton keyo iraika ndiyo ligo chikosoa. Siasa tali maraika. Reality ne ngaki ntobwe. Ya. Ngayoro tutrabwe ensa mo kitrabwe niga. Onye toko bugaga bugatia. Sabe share ya ino. Toka mutuabu ruanera mugusi. That is how life is. Ono e budget yetu etete. Babunge mbane rwi karasa na chirichiri bali bechi para. Babunge bane amine bali ba go Fred. Baba de bara rokane nga babere chimol. Mbata idiko enda asi chiyo bisi ejichi nene kiagere binte ibi kubangu chiyo bisi ejichi no nyana no manje na kwa bange tin kubanga kwa ringe binte from your offices. It is not easy unless we used to come to your office. Inche na ringe tanga I used to come to your office every time. Because government cannot be ngabono manje tenga naturally nga para que teneta kere. Ekere moiso onde tuare ko bekachi para. Kyo kwa gacha our regions because in Chekera nko genda. Njoma ita I'm not a representative yo Mogusi. I am an MP for South Mugrango. I am not fighting to be anything like you I want to be kingpin even to be I don't care even to be na those are small things. I'm focusing national. So right now my mandate is to represent the people of South Mugrango. So I have to be honest. Karabando ndo mwenzi yako ngirari maite karuga abwa sore and I look at them now boss you want to ganane chiparachi anenko kusuguma through these offices. Right now Bogiranga I'm doing 186 kilometers of roads tarmac in the entire constituency by end of next year I'll have been left with only 30 kilometers chitabwati rami. Naende ababunga abako bataje different. No 30 kilometers yechingo bekana next week. Because ekek no ere mesa. Ayiga simo kumnyoka tindochi. Why can't you just come and sit? You don't need to tell Ruto to tam. You don't. You simply need to tone down. Release your MPs. Come and say we just want to work. Kura ziko mbali. Chukua share yako ya 7 trillion. Pelekea watu wako. Jenga malami. Weka maji. Fanya infrastructure. I am telling you this because in 3 weeks time tuko Kisii. Wale ambao wataketi kwa meza next week tunafungua barabara zingine mpya. So ukimuona tena akija South Mugirango, don't complain. I am not an MP of West Mugirango, North Mugirango, Bonchari. No. I am MP South Mugirango first. All the rest kila mtu ajipiganie. Njira ndiyo ande ngainko manyere para yabo basi. Ngainko manyere para ere Bonchari. Tinji manyeti. Para maite ne chiane. Ni mbori kwa senkaranzete. Lisa karanko para isi para chiane ngeye. Na mwiso na ba ite li akiagware. Ne para ito cross the one of the biggest. Ani again kerona etwe igatangaswe kaena nuri rube ito kuche kuigora. My friend, I said that here. Nya imera igora ali asa bantu batanya korora rame. Wocha ego tirimbo gocha kiagware. Ego ambokaga abu nyamio mwe amboke gocha nyakorere. Pare ndi gwaka ari karungu. Ekogenda bakasengenya. Eko magocha ganya keyo nyamasege. Bwana, I felt so good. And that is the joy of being a leader. I beg of us, leaders. Chances of Fred are not there. And by the end of 2, 3, 4 months, muna chipari chichia Ruto chiko ara mune chichia balironi. Enoge murate yabantu banakuru. By the end of no chikia mbwe moja watanga baikoyo. Ya chake ko bekre flyover ko chakiraga mudaiga ekogenda ko chitige thongori. Babunga bwa baikoyo kwa we bakunya kugira nabo ange bonse. Quietly. Oliga cha ochakira ko tigara buyeka. Chitali chitimu karudi chinyinga ngasema one time chachakira konya kokea. Na kia kora koenda munyomba gutwara mikutano kiagara bana bantu barosire mugano uyu. Let's not mislead the community. We put aside our personal differences. Join government. I am willing to negotiate. You become our leader in the side of government. You will be remembered. Because when you are an asset, it will be very easy because you are at 55%. But that's why you are 55. Ereti yago mne kucha kuenda kere 2015. Awaso akole yani gentonke yo gento keneno rai gunobo. Kira ai wana kenena ari man. Wo chairman we board. Lakini mwana also yako 55%. And I say this with tremendous respect. You will negotiate for our community for this 1 year. We will get a share of 7 trillion properly. Because you will come munomogusi. Inje inko kaena kwa munomogirango. I am not a leader of the community. I don't need such. Nyasaye kara nganjire in future mbo likende. Ekenene, that time I will be something. Onega, I want correct bono 7 trillion. Ni ngegu oroch na atike only 30 kilometers impegeta se program. Ni ngegu at least icholi 300 kilometers chiagusi. Nga inkorus tinji manyeti. Nko angelio mobunge o sei bo machoke barabu. Akuanga gocha. Awate abanje no muntu Fred. Yana ko chia alin ko barustro. What do I do? My powers are limited. There's nothing I can do. The only thing I do as a leader, bunge, I have defended them on the Yokorusuku committee. On the Yokorusuku committee, Kurunso, I am chief whip. Tingwanja. I'm never going to see Baka and Baliba or Akaurachi Parachi, which is a lie. Nanina Gaseruchi Para, Yakundi Jafek. Zaid and Ara Gaseruchi Para. Monta, it is our right. right then toko endo yurus, it's our taxes. O se tumia kiere mubuko to tuaka na genda ngoro si para. You know? Sometimes you hear stories. It is my tax. Yes, it is your tax, but it's controlled from one central, and the people hold that knife, decide where it goes. It is your tax, it is your right, but your right is not absolute. Somebody must negotiate for it. That is why we have elected leaders. If we are not part of the team, resources you know, it is our tax. Yet around 30th June, you could get fire at zero returns. I'm going to fire. You are my tax. No, I did not go to Mogati. Go to your go to Bugatti. And is a tax evader. You know, let's stop narrowing our reasoning to the correct activists. Tell people reality. Abaikoyo ababaga atireso. Esegi mokuru wanene abaikoyo. Abana wami. Esegi mokuru wanene abaikoyo. Obogambi no buyekero obugata. Nande bonde babwati sinamba chinyinge. Arabe bugata chibasi chinyinge. Barosi riso bakweri. Esegi mokuru wanene abaikoyo. Tiago esegi abaikoyo. Tigapi esegi. Tigapi. So amorosi kende. So amwaga chenka. Tafadhali. Abana wami nto. Gusingo tigarire maega. Because they are able to negotiate. Why are they able to negotiate? The only thing you know. So today I have decided to pour out my heart. It's unfortunate, but it's a reality, and you will remember me. Even in this administration, most of the things I've told you, muanginyoire baadaye. But I don't want to talk about them because some of them are unnecessary. Mwagatebire Osoranje tijisegi, mwagatebire sijui nini. Ono muanginyoire baadaye. Ono njeti squeeze niko kwa magana mange. I used to tell you things. I used to mention things. Ono squeeze njeti niko kwa magana mange. Mwagatebire binte binge, mwagatebire tata kitiko kwa gendo tata korosi. Nowadays I pulled back. I consider and focus on my people. Finally, yente ketaga bata ngore no mwabo obugata okoboko chaka utali no mwabo obugata muramu tiga asi tinge kutangaza serikali chinyinge sana omogusi tata yutoka part of it because asane litumuka mumura abana bakolikwa mugusitare gutoka kegara asane litumuka mumura okoba bantu siase Kenya sometimes it's unfortunate that is how it is na Kenya yoka na America na bere iko usikolire America tabugati muntu mumuamu asa serikali I think no yomabugati I mean that is how life is tiago gwe koranga democracy ju nini reality tweka reality ya mwanya bantu the reason why no na yoko support Fred ko no mugusi so tigi binti bino ngo waite the serikali ke ko baiko okay to support the musigisi nkiko support Fred. You know, so we have identity. Kero manye to muntu ngokonye kuri. Aba ari mukuri kubare. Konyera abana bayito bande muri wa apply. Oseri yota to kusumera ndi bwense no buskari go sekende. Ndondo chande gete. Anyway. Me chande ite yende ni mwato lete. Tide ko kona mangana mange nda kwana yande yoborro. I say ikere my friend okonegotiate again to kede kyo muguzi wata ibu Osoro ruanira mwa gotata na tutata okonya ntwe community ya asire ligu yani esire iri babugate hope yetayo yani ukaransta abuga biso bugate hope ngenza limache na murebu mbache bakubareta Matiang be president you know we are jokers na kogena matanga gusina nyote yotali Matiangi nka sijui nini is that how you want to Bake kerora ira renge kero kumwagete chikura 700,000 chioka Kisi na Nyamira chions. Ruto airete chikura na 7.2 million 7.2 million 7.4 was 7.2 something like that. Yeah, 7.2. Raila kanyora 6.9. 6.9 yechi. No Urusi yeji wada ya 700 dinga wana muhiminchire. Wacha mchezo bwana. Wacha ni mchezo. Beg where we have hope. We cannot get hope under Kalonzo Musyoka. Never. Kalonzo mujiko bachirani ngitichia na no running mutiumba chape minche. Siasa yakira kwa chakiri goro ko yana singaka. Wana bako chibako togi. Bako chibatogi umuntu barosa nere. Bakagotogi Fred, bakarosa naye, bakacha simura kebaso, bakarosa nere squeeze bako timankiare. Batigire bakacha maraga, bajana mga konde gakonya karasa chipara. Yani ono hali gakonya kuvuga tu mwaka kwa maskani. Muntu chiete skuru. Kuno gonchunchu kana go karasa chipara. We are embarrassing the community bana. We have to tell you the truth. Nga activism mbono moko chaka. Uno goncho kana naga mu karasa chipara, tiato imokia mato, tiato koregento gete. Libato gyo yiba akolire, muiso nendo na reba acha sisi ndio zifuna. Muliro chakira kwa era. Kero wate ribanto mimi ndio zifuna, so what? After that, muliro kwa era, to chaka siasa igora, chaka ansa. Tira. Quietly. So for those and many remarks, I invite my community to think there is no hope in the opposition, whether with Fred, because already Muamo branded my community leader. In fact, president. You've been branded a community leader. Your party is not national. You have 15 MPs. DCP now wabunge was 50. They'll impeach you. They'll demand you cannot lead. That is not how life is. Start gradually, see a network Kenya ngima nini, then we grow. My community, I beg of you. Ntranyorwa. Fred, kuja tuende kwa Ruto. You will be something. And I'm not telling you out of fear for you or fear, like personal fear about you. No, bro, you know me. I'm telling you that because of my community, our community. You are now the leader, and we believe that. But don't mislead the community. Don't. Una anjonte bindu ganko bugati. Igonte kanene pare yengo korosi bakase inali. No mari pare asengenya inche korosi. Sengenya se inase uyiboirae. Fred, I'm the one building it right now, and I'm making a tarmac. Right now, you are in government. You did not. When you tell me to quit government, you are telling me achana na hii barabara ya kujenga kwangu. Etage kona mimi ninajenga sai kiago arense ino. Fred, as minister for 10 years you came to South Mogrango 3 years 1 2 3 and the only thing I remember no promise ya matabori Nyangweta you did not bring, matabori Nyakembene you did not bring. Anyway, Nyakembene ina achaka kuwa gaacha koroba. Don't mind. Nyangweta ininga kuwa gaacha koroba SDA. Don't mind. I am not complaining. I simply want you to join us so that you help the community. Abana siasa address each other on media. Politicians don't address each other in meetings. Once you see my message and you accept, you reach out. If you don't, no problem. We keep the record and the public will see. That is a reality. Number two, unomogusi, bro, I speak as MP South Mogrango. I am not the leader of Omogusi. Never will I want to be. If I ever want to be a leader beyond South Mogrango, I want to be president of Kenya. If that chance ever arises. And that can only happen not only because in Omogusi, because I will be accepted Oikoyo, be accepted Osigisi. If that doesn't happen, even the clan elder, it comes with a lot of baggage and you will suffer. Especially my people will suffer South Mogrango. So, what we've told our people is that our leaders, Zahiri Janda, Sukuma Chiparachi Abu Gotata. Jafri nyakundi sukuma chipara chiabu. Alpha Miruka sukuma chipara chiabu. Donya Toto sukuma chipara because nere she's really focusing on Bonchari because she wants to be a MP Bonchari. She's already pushed for 2 roads tia Bonchari. Through these sittings. Tochi kuigora in 3 weeks. Kere president yegocha. Donya Toto. If nobody wants to be on the table, there is nothing we can do about it.
Do you feel like the Gen Z young people
Gento ke okoro ku Gen Z
na message ya ucha sevicha
Gento ke okoro ku Gen Z Ebinte ibi ya erete abantu at the end of the day abantu bakorenga no mo Gen Z ondigereti arengereti go afraid. So tribal o mugusi na karo mugusi mo Gen Z ka kondegeri kare ka korengeri kare keruya orengereri Gento ke okoro ku Gen Z ngabondo tuachira ama na Gen Z nga leaderless Gento ke tobita kwa maguru ndi ya erete kare. And I told the people there is nothing called like that. That was a narrative ya Baikoyo na eneja erete. It had nothing. It had something to do with oborubuga power liba lueto, which is okay. Kero monta onjiro bora tadi sia gutaka kubotika. So my message to the vijana, jitume. Hii perception yenye tunakuwa nayo hapa kila saa ati huyu kiongozi akitoka unajua tumeteseka sana, Ruto akitoka tutapona. Atatoka my friend, if you don't wake up early kwenda kujitafutia. Uwe mwenye ataingia bado utakuwa tu bado maskini. Stop imagining that when you see people driving around, at unaona mtu akiendesha gari kubwa, you think they are driving, you are poor because they are driving. No. Jitume, hustle, use your network. Kama ni Osoro unajua, tumia yeye. Hii maneno yanasema Kenya, kwani lazima ujue mtu. World over, your network is your net worth. I mean, that is a basic analogy ya kuelewa. Network is your net worth. Who is your network? Who do you know? Hata biashara ni hivyo. Kiweka duka nini, lazima ujuane na watu. Your network is your net worth. You become something through your network. So create a network, grow, jitume. Wacha tu kuishi kazi yako tu unaishi. Hii social media boyiko ga tata hapa njuma ito na abeli na abantu abanabu abakoyone. Na amenyere na bunku abandango ko bakumi. Muntu abwate kasimi ko kaigo chake kete sini niyo endo eduka yo muntu ga otenga ntate ko be agent yawe yokoni chianga. Obeka bundles oyigora ka page. Omote iti yangu tianga kebicha yedukeye. Yechi angeye mbeke Facebook yane. Obeka. Osocha ka kokobeka live ye mbegete. Okuona kwa na inguone mzuri. Tali yaya. Abantu bamo tomera inbox. Ni ngapi? Oliyo ko ni 1200. Oyo motebi 2200. Oyo bageni baka 2000. Omotebi you will pay on delivery. Wote yo yobuge duka tuende na wewe. Mimi ndio najua mahali yako tuende. Oliyo kan 2000 omurusiri 800 obeka. Hanta batata. Ati ningete kwiri. No nyenso baba troseti kare ko ende michije bugata bakati tap mwabo. Lakini ko ga chere tukuru anesigia bayiko. Chitap yani intubado abangena mdochi bagochi. Barabu maito bone bakora last mile connectivity ya mache. Intiko tokora last mile connectivity estima last mile connectivity so be ba code 1989. Kero monda ba estima. Intiko tokora last mile connectivity ya mache. Ya estima. Wakabona on try kera. Buone ende at 60%. Can you imagine that? 60 years post independence. 3 years over haki. Kwa maana injo iniesegia bayikoyo. I cannot. Chitap. Ikine yeko ngaji mon. Enyombe ye chibao. Lakini isiko gali ne tap. Etap ya mache papa yekire kabisa ko rujuasko. Ende ko ko asko. Ntumo iso tu wako tu igolete go se guswasko. Toka ye change ko chinyamire yaye na kisi ye yaye. Try kira anywhere. Kera tu arakobeka moiso de budget estimaga. Itoko bagana. In terms of ababunge bali barengo. Bali babo ikaranza bataite ko toka share. Kibe estima jiga chaga ase bitabo. Abunge bakurwanira sana. Ngama kuboli mubungo yo a leader of majority nga mugambi. Na kibona ayo teri kumanira kibe ase estima njoma etena ngate bambeke 200 million. Arantebi you have to consider leadership. Mimi niweke 200 million, wekea Ichungwa 300 million. Stima tuweke kwetu na utika na steka. Budget ya karosu bunge 300 million. Ichungwa kanta mimi sitaki. Ya stima mimi sitaki. Yo kawana na akangatorero muntu mngao. Tokabagane yirende 150 ikaba 350 million ejitwaite timoisonde bono njenganyora 350 million south mogirango yoka ejitogo chiko chaka corolla out in another 2 months bono litwa kusoka ngamubuli bro mbona utaki stima ande sasa ndawekea nani ngama tena maji pesa ya maji mimi sitaki kabuli bona ainki utagete anara so yaro se tutali yaro kora umu na ubaga mbete 1963 bakararosi ande lyasoka we onda ndaka bakararosi bona barosiri gentonke yo get alafu kama matenga bakonye nje seito abantu bakwenda roche bakabone gatate bitatu nane muri yakamukire aneko bakonyora kwanza undi bwenzi oranyora bugambi through them kobo puppet yabo geno gara kore ebinto kobo bujari none chipari ruta igora mu isonde chia central mau roads nini mbona tata tunge kwa bali ko serinya ora mina akakanya kore na abeka chira akarami yani kuno kwa bali ko serinya pata imbekere ga kigo siku hizi manyaba kachipesa chiabo tali chia koro sirambi bona ya ikira bona chipesa tako to kubeka infrastructure etio korosi chikaburo na walking path yani chirami nchiro bona bakorikia saba kubeka chikaburo batarire boss intuntra igara kaburo ntageta karami kara eta. Don't mislead the community. Thank you very much.